Hello and welcome to How Mundane, the least interesting place on the internet. Today, we got some of the newest set out of Japan. Just a little box to open. But we're really here because of the news that broke just a couple of days ago. That was, I don't think, what anyone was expecting. That Collectors, the company that, of course, owns PSA and SGC, is acquiring Beckett, meaning that now 3 of the big 5 grading companies are all under common ownership. So, what does that mean for grading, for the hobby? What does that mean for CGC and for TAG, the 2 other grading companies that seem to have at least a reasonable following and reputation that are not under this common umbrella? And, well, what's going to happen? So based on the announcements that we have, it has been stated that PSA, SGC, and Beckett will all continue to operate separately, meaning that if you submit a card to Beckett, it still gets a Beckett label. It still gets, the potential black label. If you submit a card to PSA, it is still going to be the same, PSA slab. SGC is going to be the same. Here we go. Oh, yay. And there is the Mega Dragonite. So they're going to continue operating Beckett separately the way they have continued operating SGC separately. Whether or not behind the scenes something may change, if there's, that's a cool Team Rocket's Mew. Technology or something else behind the scenes that may make things more efficient, not sure. At least in the short term, everything is going to remain what it is. In the long term, who knows? Is this what finally pushes Beckett to, there's the Snover. Beckett to come off the Gem Mint is a 9.5 scale, that they are the only remaining grader left on? Possibly. Does it mean that, perhaps the Beckett facility in Plano, Texas, you'll be able to drop off things for, there is a Pikachu EX. You'll be able to drop off things for PSA grading. I guess maybe. That has not been the case where you could cross drop off SGC and PSA. So, you do though have to wonder long term what that means. It also certainly raises the question about long term. Does this provide more of an opportunity for TAG to get some growth? Does this, CGC is already clearly number 2 as far as grading volumes go. I'm not sure how much more their grading volumes could go up. Does also, outside of the card grading space, provide one other interesting thing. PSA, of course, recently started grading comics, and here we go. The Disaster Shock. Started grading comics and some other things. What's interesting about acquiring Beckett is that means they've also acquired CBCS, which is, arguably the number 2 comic book grading authority behind CGC. So all of a sudden, PSA now has a significant comic book grading arm as part of their portfolio. Plus, of course, all of the Beckett value guides that have been a staple in the sports card space for years and years and years. So Certainly was not something I was expecting to happen here at the end of 2025, but here we are. So we will all have to wait and see what 2026 brings. I'm not sure that you could have much more consolidation in the grading space other than Tag or CGC perhaps acquiring some of the smaller grading companies that are floating around in different places. But interesting times. Thanks for being mundane with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.